Morning everyone. Today I want to talk to you about how you can use emojis, yes, I said emojis, and how they can help organise your life. So, it's a really nice morning actually. I thought it was going to be cooler than this. It's about 5 degrees out here this morning, but it's sunny and there's no wind, so it's actually quite pleasant to run in. I actually feel a bit warm. But anyway, it's Wednesday, and it's always all things business systems and outsourcing. And this is a fairly new one that I've discovered, but integrated into my kind of working life and personal life, and it's been really beneficial so far. And obviously, I want to kind of give you the reasons for that and how it can hopefully help you as well. So, as the topic suggests, it's about emojis. Now, love them or hate them, they are very unique, and this has actually stemmed from a couple of influences actually. One, I've recently read the book Bullet Journal, and although at first, when I go back and evaluate and consider how good that book was, I was a little bit underwhelmed to begin with. But it's only kind of a couple of weeks after I finished that I've actually started to appreciate the amount of gold that was in it. I think mainly because I couldn't get away from the fact that it kept barking on about journaling in the paper-based format. But actually, the tips and the way you journal are really, really useful. And I'm paperless, so I haven't really journaled. I've dabbled with journaling in the past, never really found it very useful. But the bullet journal was kind of incorporating both the typical journal, or the diary, or the notebook, alongside task management. And task management and project management stuff that I've used years and years and years. And my whole life is in Asana, which is project management software. So I looked at ways and means that I could kind of take the little nuances that the bullet journal was recommending and how I could turn them, electronic or paperless, and integrate them into a paperless world. So how could I use some of those functions in Asana was my kind of brief. And there was loads of little aspects on how, the thing when you're writing in a notepad, it can be quite visual, whereby in a lot of project management software and things, you can tag things. You can't do that in a notebook. You have to tag things with a pencil. But the idea was it was quite visual in terms of the shapes he was using, like a dash for a task or a circle for an event. These little symbols that he was using in his notebook. So at a very quick glance, you could see what was what. And I thought to myself initially, I use tags in my project management software. But tags all generally look the same. Okay, you can change the colour of them. Let me just go over here. There's a car coming past me. So you can change the colour of them, but when you glance at them, they just look like uniform tags. The same with custom fields, which are standardised versions of tags. So they didn't have the same kind of glance effect. And then I watched a movie called the Emoji Movie with my kids during half term, and this kind of light bulb went off in my mind. Just the fact that emojis are symbols, they're very visual. You can say a lot with an emoji without having to write anything. And I've always been quite pro emoji, because something that I hate more than anything is when you're using text as a communication is a misinterpretation of what you're trying to say, because it's been taken out of context, because the written word can be read in several different styles or several different tones. You don't know how assertive or how aggressive or how passive someone's delivering that message. If you chuck emoji on the end of it, they'll know if you're being, making a joke, or they'll know if you're just winking, or they'll know if you're not taking yourself so seriously. So I think they're really, really powerful. And my wife rips me for using them all the time, saying that I'm like a little kid. But there is an underlying reason I do it, just to say that my message is never misinterpreted, because that can create all sorts of chaos further down the line. But anyway, so I've kind of touched on some of the key reasons for why I kind of considered this. But then I decided I wanted to journal again. I wanted to, I track lots of things in different pieces of software, in different apps and things, like I use Fitbit to track my sleep and that side of things. But what if I could journal and just scribble stuff down in one place, and that being Asana, and make things really, really easy to kind of identify what's happened on that note or that point, what that point means, what's being done with it. And I've managed to create a kind of a system of emojis now that I use almost in replacement for tags. Pure and simply, they're super visual. And I'll give you quite a lot of examples of how this works now and how people just understand stuff really, really easily. For example, I do a daily log. Okay, that's the cut and thrust of journaling. I do all my goals and everything set in Asana as well, but that's a separate process I do it. But I'm talking about just daily journaling at the moment. And in those daily journals, I'll put everything that happens in the day. I'll just note stuff down. So, for example, I'll note down how much sleep I got the night before. Okay, so I'm tracking that Fitbit anyway, but I want all of my data in one place. Okay, and then I want to be able to use that data and report on it using Bridge 24. So you have to be mindful of how you're recording it, but I like to pull all the information into Asana. So that's number one. So I might just write, sleep. How long did I sleep for? But rather than write I slept for X, I just put a little sleeping icon, which is a little emoji with the Z's above it. And then I put either 6, 6.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7. That's it, just next to it. Because I don't care to the minute. What I care is did I get at least 5.5 hours sleep? Did I get at least 6? I want at least 6.5 every day. So by doing that, I'm creating a standardized input. So when I produce a chart from that Asana data using Bridge 24, I can do that really, really simply by using the kind of information I've put into that task. And it's all easily searchable by the emoji. So when I want to report on that, I just have to type into the search bar in Asana to just paste the sleeping emoji, and it pulls all my sleep notes up in date order. I can drag them into a separate project and report on them really, really easily. So really, really cool way of doing it, just for sleeping icon. When I run every day, I track all my runs in Strava. I have Stride, I have my watch, I have lots of things like I track on, but it takes 2 seconds just to log it in my daily log. Run 6 kilometers or 7 kilometers or whatever. I don't care about, again, the exact minutiae, because I've got to ask how much I'm reporting. I want to see how many 5k runs I'm doing, how many 5.5k runs, how many 6k runs. So I just go for what I did as the minimum, and I log that. And again, I can report that because I just use a little running symbol next to it. What did I vlog about? Okay, I've got that stored in a content plan, but sometimes it's just nice to do a little video recorder, the title of my vlog, so I can refer back to any day and know exactly what I've vlogged on. It's really, really powerful stuff. When I'm thinking and I'm creating a new task, I have a little inbox sign, which is an arrow pointing into inbox. It's a new task for me. So I put the little new task and my sign, I put it against me, so I can see what tasks I've created for myself each day. And interestingly, I have an outsourcing task as well, which is an outbox, which is a little box with an arrow pointing out. So if I think of assigning something out, I'll always use that sign. So then I can very quickly just search for the outbox, and I can see everything that I've outsourced to other people and the date that I've done it. Really, really super easy. Okay, you can do tags and you can do other things to do this, but visually, this has just been game changing because I can glance at stuff now and know if it's a note, I just have a little square with a little pencil next to it, so I know it's a note. There's no action, it's just something I want to refer to, so I can go back and see all my notes by date. So it's super, super powerful stuff, this. The other cool one, if I'm communicating on Loom, I do this stuff on Loom now, so when I'm searching in Loom, if I'm just communicating with someone, a little speech balloon just suggests it's just conversation. If it's a process, I use a little grey checkbox or a checklist icon, which suggests that it's part of a process. So I can look at all my process videos very, very easily. And it's just this kind of visual way of linking stuff together. You know, it's really, really cool. And I add to them all the time. How I'm feeling. There's a little feeling out emoji with the guy who's getting his head massaged. Okay, so if I'm feeling a certain way, I make a note about that, put it against the feeling. So I can track my feelings. And it's super, super powerful, this stuff. And it's been absolutely game changing for me. Everyone ridicules using emojis. I'm a 38-year-old man and I'm emoji-rific. However, when you actually go underneath the kind of immature style of emojis like the poo and stuff like that, but I might want to track how many times I go to the toilet. I could use the poo icon. You know, it's just symbols, and you can use them, but visually they're so good. So when you've got hundreds and hundreds of notes and tasks, having that visual way of being able to see them really quickly is super easy. I also use I track my food, so I have a little plate with a salad on it for tracking my food, to inspire me to eat healthily. And then I open that task and I list everything I've eaten within it for each day, and I just put the name of the task as the date and a little food icon. And then, but differently, at the end of each day I assess whether it's a gold day, a silver day, or a bronze day. So I'm ranking it. If it's a bronze day, it means I'm eating loads of cake. But I'm healthy. I'm over my calorie intake. I don't know exactly what my calorie intake is because I'm not tracking that in Fitbit like I used to, because it took too long to do. Because I know now from doing it for several months roughly what is the right calorie intake for me. So I know that now because I've experienced that. So I'm shorthand tracking it now through Asana. So it's just got a bit windy coming back this way. But I can rank it now. A gold day if I believe I'm under my calorie level, and I haven't been greedy, and I haven't eaten anything like crisps or biscuits or cakes, chocolate, all that type of stuff. I haven't divulged any of that. Then it'll be a gold day. If I'm there or thereabouts, I might have had a little nibble of a biscuit or something. I might give myself a silver rank. But then I can see over a period of time how well my eating habits have been. I love my water intake now. So again, really simple. Just use the little water drop icon, and I state again in increments of what I want to report on. What was the minimum amount of fluid I took in? I always want to take at least 3.5 litres because that's close to the gallon. The gallon's 2.7. If I never get to 4, so 3.5 is kind of my minimum target. If I get there, it's been good. If I'm kind of 3 to 3.5, it's silver. Less than 3 litres is a bronze day for me. And I don't include coffees and teas. I track how many coffees I have. I want to have no more than 2 a day. If I have more than 2 a day, I track that. So this is all stuff that I'm creating really usable data that I can report on anything, any part of this at any point in the future. The other game changer is pipeline management. So we source property deals for investors. I rank them gold, silver, or bronze by using a little medal emoji based on how far away from maximum price we can offer. So if it's over our maximum asking price, but we'll still make an offer, it'll be a bronze deal. If it's within 10 grand of our maximum offer price, this is the list price by the way, it'll be a silver deal. If it's more than 10 grand under our maximum offer price, it's a gold deal. And then our negotiators can focus on the gold ones first. So, sorry if it's really windy, but that's just game changing. Like as money hit the bank. Okay, so I can use a Zap that links to our e-commerce platform, and it can automatically add a little money symbol to the task in Asana if the money has come in, which is huge. It's amazing that you can kind of do this stuff. And then people can look at the pipeline at glance and see, without even having to click into anything, which properties have been paid for, which we're still chasing money for. Massive. So hopefully you found this useful because it's quite a lot of information here, but it's been absolutely game changing for me in the way I log and record things. I'm really quick at journaling. I don't list loads of things. I use a location little icon, so a little pin with a little red thing on, so you know the same icon you use in Google Maps. It drops a pin at a location. So I'll mark a location of where I've been. If I'm scheduling something to be discussed at a later date, a little calendar icon. So it's a schedule. So all these different things, I've got a little in progress icon, which is 2 arrows pointing either way. But if it's something that's been started, but hasn't been finished, I'll put in progress. So I'm just tracking these things. Now some of them I'll probably stop tracking in the future, which is fine. But if I want to report on anything, I'm capturing it in a really quick and easy way, and then I've got the ability to report on it in the future. So it's a really cool way. I do the daily logs. The beauty of the daily log is that all these little notes are subtasks, and if I need to put a task into my to-do list, I can also add that to my to-do list, but it stays in the daily log. If I'm outsourcing something, I'm putting it on other people's task lists, but it still stays in my daily log. So I've got this archive of what's happened in the past that I can report on. So if I go to a meeting with someone, I can just look for stuff I've outsourced with the outsource icon, and I've assigned it to a certain person. So I can see all the tasks I've outsourced to somebody in one easy place. The other one that's really cool, if I'm meeting with people or building relationships with people, I have a little meeting icon, which is a handshake. And then all the notes associated with that meeting during the meeting are added to that record. And again, tasks can be assigned out to people, but they all stay in that meetings log. So it's like using mini projects as well. But the main benefit of the emoji is the visual ability to glance at it and understand instantly what that's about. So, hope you found this useful. So to summarise, emojis are super cool as they give very quick ability to glance at data information and see what it means. Yes, some of you may argue I use tags and custom fields. Absolutely fine, but the most you can do with those to customise them is colour coordinate them. So it's just quite difficult to do to make it very obvious at first glance what something means. Whereas an emoji, they've become so common in our lives now that we know what most of them mean pretty quickly. So the other thing, like when people have done stuff for me, rather than send lengthy messages which say thank you, I just use the praise sign, which just says thank you. If it's really good, well done, it's a high 10. You know, if I've watched it or just wanted to acknowledge it, I give it a thumbs up. So there's little ways in which you can use these in your everyday communication. It becomes game changing. So the glance ability is point one of emojis over tags and custom fields. Super important. Number two, they allow you to log and track data in a unique way. And you can do this. This is obviously electronic. It's really cool. And number three, you know, they're a great way of logging and storing information and organising it correctly so that when I have a meeting with a certain investor, for example, I have a record against that investor, which is meetings with that investor. Everything that was discussed in note form, any points that are important, I use an exclamation mark, emoji. So it's just all, I can very quickly glance at some notes from a previous meeting and know exactly what happened during that meeting. Now, yes, you have to get better at taking notes, but this is like the first time I've ever found a journaling mechanism, sorry, I'm slurring, that hasn't taken over my life. So, just food for thought there. But that's it for me today. So hopefully this is a cool episode that it's a bit different, but hopefully some of you will find it really useful. I strongly recommend that you explore this because it's been absolutely game changing for me. And I feel so much more clarity that I can get stuff out of my head. If it's a goal or target, a little target icon. You know, just see the emojis are endless. It's data, a little graph. You know, you can use multiple emojis, but don't overcomplicate it. And like I say, I'm a bit keen at the moment, so I'm using so many. And what might happen is eventually I'll knock some of these on the head. If I'm not using it, I'm not reporting on it, or I log it. So I'll start being more streamlined with this approach as we get a bit further down the line. But that's it for me today anyway. So any questions on this stuff, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I will do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. If it's not for you, no drama. Some friend that follow me, I will stop clutching at your personal feeds. But do check out the YouTube channel, Kevin Britton Entrepreneur, where all 150 or so episodes are nicely of this vlog are nicely catalogued by topic. It's a completely free resource for you to use at some point in the future. Also, make sure you're in the Facebook group Entrepreneur, which will be turned into where all of the free resources for this vlog are stored. Hopefully, there'll be some really good stuff in there that I'll be building out that will be really valuable to people. So that's pretty much it. As always, the Entrepreneur vlog was created for entrepreneurs to struggle with overwhelm, stress, and anxiety, and how you can use exercise, and in my case, running, as a mechanism to control and manage that and thrive under these pressures that so many of us are struggling under. These are absolutely normal. As entrepreneurs, we try and take on the world. We bottle stuff up. We don't control it. And as a result, something has to give. And it's normally one of two things. Either the entrepreneur, personal mental breakdowns, or the business. If the entrepreneur has a breakdown or the business fails, either way it's terminal to the success chances of your business. We already live in a world where 1 in 10 businesses succeeds, and this is a major factor for why that is the case. So my pledge to you, if you are an entrepreneur struggling with this, I have been there. I've been rock bottom. I've had breakdowns. Perhaps I didn't realise I had a breakdown at the time. When you feel the world is closing on you, I've been there. And since incorporating running into a more routine form of my life, I've been able to manage the stress, anxiety, overwhelm. In fact, I have more pressure on me now than I ever had. I just deal with it so much more comfortably now because I have this mechanism to control and manage it. And if I can help anyone, drop me a DM and I will make time to come chat. There's no sale, absolutely not. It will be purely just for you to talk to someone who understands and for hopefully me to help you put some steps in place for you to continue as an entrepreneur on your quest for success. And if this blog saves just one entrepreneur or one business, 1,000,000% it's been worthwhile. So that's pretty much it for me. As always, I'll end this vlog with my positivity tag, which is stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.